Less than 2 minutes gone by in the second period. King knew he was short with that. Parrish throws up an air ball hook, and it's still East ball.
Bird looking, saying, he fouled my teammate, ref. Give him a break.
Well, they laughed at Parrish when he throws up an air ball.
Well,
What's
they
going
laugh
on
when
here?
he gets moved off the court.
Inside, Robert will go at it again and make good. Robert Parrish, 5 straight years an All-Star. He started last year when Moses Malone was hurt. Maybe one of the best running centers in the game.
I think that's his forte, but more and more, he's slowing down a little bit and going to that low post type of action.
Nixon in the crowd. Moncrief and Cummings, 2 of the Milwaukee Bucks went up together. And it's Moncrief with Richardson. Good feed. And traveling. Might have gotten the ball a little too late. Second chance points, and the East is doing it with their offensive rebounding. But coming in for the West, the guy who could change a lot of that is Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the 4 rookie centers to appear in an All-Star game.
Well, that's where the East seems to have its advantage, Dick. On the offensive board, both with all their teams and in their divisions, when they go out West, the West teams have trouble out rebounding them offensively.
On Sigma's miss with Michael Ray. Over Nixon. Blackman. Here comes the West, trying to break the tie at 42. Rolando Blackman. Here's Olajuwon. Here's a little move by Hakeem Olajuwon and Moses Malone, who's very good friends with Olajuwon, and Moses taught Olajuwon to be hungry for the rebounds and the block shots. He's been a hungry rookie. Parrish. Coming out of the crowd, Nat to Nixon. 3-on-3. Norm Nixon.
Did I tell you he'll take it as far in as he possibly can? He creates such devastation on that defense. Just pushes it straight at him.
The West leads 46-42. We have 8:57 remaining in the first half. And Casey Jones and his staff call a timeout, and we'll be back to the Hoosier Dome in a moment. With the West leading by 4 right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Thank you, Dick. You know, all week everybody was talking about the All-Star game, and what they really wanted to see was that great matchup between Johnny Kerr and Tommy Heinsohn at the Legends game yesterday, and you held Tommy to about 3 points, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what, Slick Leonard called me. He says, John, I need a defensive job. They got Heinsohn in there. 23 seconds, I worked like crazy, putting the pressure on him. He was stumbling, falling out of bounds, and he had to throw it in bounds to save it. It went over his head and in for 3 points. I worked really great on that defensive end, and this guy gets all the ovations.
Last year he was pulling your pants down. This year he pulled your shirt up. What about that move?
About this guy. My pants last year, my shirt, you know. Buy me a drink, Tom.
Right away, I'm the guy
Tommy,
to
we'll
do
buy
that.
him a drink. We'll see that at the half. I'll talk to you later. Back to you, Dick.
Tommy, you have, you know, Johnny doesn't hear you.
I'm going to buy him a drink. I mean, he did let me take that hook shot on the side.
In the ball game now, Bill Laimbeer at center from the Detroit Pistons. Larry Bird is back, and his teammate Dennis Johnson is also in there. So it's Dennis Johnson and Sidney Moncrief in the backcourt, Bird and Bernard King at forward, and Bill Laimbeer. Laimbeer was a late replacement last year for Malone because of an injury. Same thing for Jeff Ruland this year, and he starts out hot.
Well, the West has the bigger team in there right now with Olajuwon and Sigma.
Calvin Nat guarded by Moncrief. Same cast for the West, and Calvin Nat hits the shot.
He's my favorite lunch pail player. I mean, he comes hard to play all the time.
Here's Bird over Sigma. Moncrief crashes into his own man, out of bounds. It'll be West ball. It's been a well-played game so far. Very few turnovers for an All-Star game. Only 4 for each team.
Unusual when 2 teams are streaking up the court the way they've been.
Here's Magic Johnson. Back in the ball game, replacing Norm Nixon. Nat misses, and the East can't save it. Here it comes, Isaiah Thomas back in the ball game, so we're seeing more of the starters coming back in with 8:01 remaining in the half. Out goes Moncrief. He played well when he was in there. He scored 4 points. Didn't say only for an All-Star game. That's pretty good for him.
But he also did some great rebounding work for the East team.
Sigma. Laimbeer quickly out to Bernard King. Thomas is trailing. King will take it.
That's what Bernard King was looking for in an All-Star game. Get out on the wing in the open court. He loves it.
Inside, a little overplay and a foul on Bernard King. 7:40 remaining. Bernard King scored 60 points in a losing effort against New Jersey this year. As Ralph Sampson comes back in for the West, he said he'd rather score 10 points and win the game. Sigma goes out for Sampson, and Moses Malone will come in for Bernard King. So a big team in there now for the East, Tom.
Yes, and I would say right now the Twin Towers of the Houston Rockets, we're going to see what they can effectively do playing together in this All-Star game.
Olajuwon and Sampson for the West. We have Malone and Lane Beer for the East. And Rolando Blackman makes the basket. He has 6 points. Blackman is on Dennis Johnson. Thomas left alone for a moment in the corner. Pushing inside. It'll be against the East. And the foul will be against Moses Malone. Pat Riley, the coach of the West, he's 0-2 coming in. He would love to not only win his first All-Star game, but break the 5-game East winning streak.
Well, they get pretty serious about winning these games, these coaches. You know, it appears on their all-time record, lost 3 All-Star games. So.
Olajuwon wasn't quite ready for that pass by Nat. Out of bounds. It's still West ball. Of course, no one wants to have a losing record anywhere, like you say.
I'll tell you, even in the old-timers game yesterday, the coaches wanted to win that one.
George Gervin, who is the leading scorer for the West with 10 points, will be coming back in the ball game. Larry Bird has 9, Julius Erving 8. They're the scoring leaders for the East. 3,146 for this All-Star game. Sampson, Magic Johnson. Gervin with 1 second on the clock. The basket counts. He just got it in under the wire, and George Gervin has 12 points in the game. Bird is guarded by Calvin Nat. Magic Johnson on Isaiah Thomas. Lane Beer over Sampson. The timing of Malone just wasn't there. He was positioned, though.
I think somebody nudged him from behind, Dick.
Turnover. Magic said, me? Oh, okay.
Nice guy. Here's Moses going for the rebound. Long outside shot. And I think nobody touched him, huh? Well, I guess I was wrong.
West by 6 with 6:13 remaining in the first half. Forget Pat O'Brien coming up at the half. What a feed. 2 Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas perfect to Bill Laimbeer.
They've run that play hundreds and hundreds of times. And that's what coaches hope to do in these games, is put 2 players together from the same team.
Wide open. Sampson. Dennis Johnson the rebound. He's having maybe his best year. Thomas to Bird. What a pass by Isaiah Thomas. They're going to say no shot. It was offensive interference, but Isaiah Thomas has made 2 sensational passes the last 2 times down.
Well, I'll tell you, when he comes up on the break, he loves the fast break and use those people. He reads the defense so well.
The East is hanging in close, considering that the West is out shooting him by a bundle.
Well, they're controlling that offensive board for great stretches.
Less than 5.5 to play in the first half. Magic misses. Sampson, West controlling. Akeem double teamed, and will go to the line. Isaiah, what a pass to Bill Laimbeer early.
Well, when you put in combinations from the same team, you hope you develop the teamwork that goes along with those 2 players, just like right here, pick and roll play to the wide open Bill Laimbeer. The Pistons fans have seen lots of that.
Laimbeer committed the foul on Akeem Olajuwon.
You know why the East is rebounding the way they're doing is that they're so sure that they're going to have trouble on the boards. 5 of the white jerseys are on the boards.
West by 5. They're going to call a loose ball foul. Dennis Johnson shooting. And it's on Calvin Nat as he elbowed Larry Bird out of the way. Into the ball game now is Adrian Dantley, who started the game at forward for the West.
Back in the West lineup, number 4.
And going out is Calvin Nat. Dantley led the NBA in scoring 2 of the last 5 years. Malone, good block inside by Olajuwon, and Sampson both were in there. 3-point attempt. There he is, Isaiah Thomas. He was held scoreless last year at halftime and then came on with a rush to win the MVP award.
Did he ever? Pushed that ball up, dished it off,